Alright, so this is the first video in my Plankerton Endurance Castle series. And in this video, we are going to build the defense for Homebase North. So in my previous video, I showed which amps I picked, but it's probably worth mentioning this again. So here are my amps. I've got A in the east, B in the south, C in the southeast, and this is my UFO amp, D here in the west, and then my flex amp is E up here in the northwest. And because this is my flex amp, I only have to protect my home base from the north. Like if you have a different flex amp, like one of these over here or here, then you're gonna have to protect your home base from an attack from the west. So just make note of that. And then also, like I said in that video, I designed the defense for Homebase North with this giant wall blocking off the entire area, because I use this open field to practice new builds for like Frostnite and stuff, right? Like this is the Frostnite burner, and then that's that hill with the water tower and the ramp that you have to block off. So if you don't want to have this giant wall here, then you can easily just open up this area and extend some trap tunnels. But this build works perfectly fine. Like in all 30 waves, I've never had anything come close to breaking through these walls. And that's with the heals attached 6th perk being bugged right now. Like it doesn't even work. But you know, eventually Epic will fix it. But it doesn't matter. Even with it bugged, nothing breaks through. Okay, so the way I have all of my defenses built in Plankerton, they sort of blend into each other, right? So like the defense for D here wraps around and blends into the defense for E, which blends into the defense for the home base, which blends into the defense for A. Same over here, like the defense for B wraps over here and merges into the defense for D. And that helps me save on builds. Like I still have like over 60 free builds, and that's having built this entire castle. But what we're gonna have to do is draw some borders so that we know what we're covering in each video, right? Otherwise, we're just gonna endlessly build, and before we know it, the video is like an hour long. So why don't we come up to this ridge and just draw like a border here. And this will be the edge of what we'll cover in this video. So we'll just draw a border right there. And then come over here to this side. And then I'll draw another border like here. Right. Okay, so we'll cover up to this in this video. All right. Yeah. Okay, so let's get into the build. So why don't we start with the Blockoffs? Even though this entire defense is like one giant block off. Aside from that, let's come over here to this corner ridge where the ramp ends, and this will be our starting landmark, right? So come over here and go inside here, and there's a ramp right here that we're gonna have to block off, right? So I just have a wall with a wall dart, wall with a wall dart, and then a P block above it. So edited floor like this, edited clone like this. And then on these walls, you want wall darts with heals attached, right? So I think mine are just crit rating, crit damage, damage, crit damage, heals attached. Okay, even though the heals attached perk is bugged right now, just make sure you have heals attached on these. All right, and then that's it for Blockoffs. This one up here, that's for Amp E, and so we'll cover that when we get to Amp E. All right, so now let's do the giant wall. And so all I did was just follow the terrain all the way across, right? So just follow, once you get to the edge of this ramp, follow it across, so you'll have 4 wall darts across, it'll jut in, and then build walls all the way across. And for this one right here that lines up with the center of your home base, make this a half wall, like this, like a mid wall. And that's so that this wall has lower life than the rest of your walls, and then the husks will tend to gravitate towards this spot in attacking this wall. Okay? And then just continue all the way across until you hit the edge of this step, and then it'll jut out 2, and then over 3 more until you hit the corner of here. And don't worry, you don't need to have a wall blocking this right here. The natural terrain will block the husks. Even though you can squeeze through, the husks can't. All right? Okay, so for the entire lower level of this wall, I put wall darts, my hardest hitting wall darts, with heals attached on them. So it's these. Crit rating, crit damage, heals attached. Okay? And the reason for that is anything that gets down up to these walls, we want to basically one-shot. So you want your strongest perked wall darts with heals attached on them. So you've just lined the walls all the way across. At this tile right here that lines up with this terrain, I put a broadside, just a hard-hitting broadside, crit rating, crit damage, reload speed, with heals attached, most important. I've got 2 floor freezes down here. They just impact, reload, dura, effect, duration. And when you place them, make sure you're facing the same direction that the husks are coming. So like this. So drop it, come this way, drop it. And that way when they freeze and thaw, if they survive that long, they'll stagger backwards. Okay? Just do that for all of the wall darts along the lower level. And this one right here, I put a dynamo on there, a hard-hitting dynamo. So crit rating, reload, damage, crit damage, heals attached. Right? And that's the lower level of that. And then if you go to the back side of them, these walls don't really get attacked. So here, I put wall darts like this. This one. So double crit rating, double crit damage, increased building health. What really matters is the increased building health. So I put that on the back sides of these walls, all along here. So all along those, all the way up until it juts out right there. That's just to give these walls more health than these other ones, because I want to make sure that nothing breaks through. And this is a dynamo with, it's just the same perked dynamo here with increased build health. Double crit rating, double crit damage, increased build health. The only perk that really I care about is the increased build health. So put that on the back of this wall. Okay. All right, that's the lower level of this wall. And then just follow along that wall with another level of walls. Just follow it along. You don't need a wall trap right here because nothing's going to trigger it. But for these wall darts up here, I have extra durability on those instead of a damage, because these are going to fire off way more often than the ones down here. The ones down here, I want to be hard hitting so that they just one-shot anything that gets down to them. But up here, where all the stuff spawns, these wall darts are just going to be constantly shooting at them. So for these wall darts, I have them perked like this. It's crit rating, crit damage, dura. I think I actually, on the ones I placed there, have a third dura perk on them. So it's crit rating, crit damage, dura. For these ones up here, right? Look at how much dura these have, 189 versus the ones down here, 132. Right, so then so wall darts all along the top there, not there, and then all along here, up until this point. Yeah, you don't need to put anything up here because nothing really gets up in this area. Okay, so that's the wall. All right, so now let's do the roof. So I guess just come up from here, and actually let's go over here. Go over here, this will be easier. From the wall up here, you've got it's too wide, and how many is this? 1, 2, 3, 4. So this little chunk right here is like a 2x4, and then just follow it across with floors. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then it, is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I guess so. Okay, so it's 8 across with these defender pads on them. And I put defender pads on them and left this wall open because, you know, every so often you get those dailies where it's like, kill 200 husks with the SMG or kill 200 husks with a pistol. Well, I just do that in my endurances, right? You just run wave 1, put a bunch of defenders down with those weapons, and then you'll take care of them real quick. All right, so then, yeah, so 8 across with defender pads, and then this is another, like, chunk of walls. They just line up with the edge of your, not a chunk of floors, sorry. They just line up with your walls down below, okay? And then we've hit our little border. Don't worry about what's beyond that border. We'll cover it when we get to the next video for AMP A. Okay, and then I have a wall right here. No trap on that side. And I'm going to cover all the traps, all the ceiling traps, after we build the roof. Let's just build the entire roof first, and then we'll go under and then explain all the traps below. Okay, so we've got all these. This part is open for my little shooting gallery, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 walls here. Okay, and then we go up, and the roof is kind of all jagged like this because it follows the terrain underneath. So just, yeah, I don't know, this a little bit weird and jaggedy, but just try to follow along. So we've got 1, 2, 3 wide by 3, and then it juts in to 2 with 1, 2, 3, and then it opens up again for 3, and then this one is 1, 2, 3, 4. This one is 1, 2, 3. This one is 2, 2, 2, 2, and then boom, we've hit our little border. Okay. And the reason why this edge is all jaggedy like this is because your A north defense, every so often you can have a random husk spawner up here on this edge, and you want to make sure that the husks that come out of that spawner cannot get on your roof, right? So we don't want them to be able to get on the roof here. That's why this is empty. That's why this is all empty right here, and that's why this edge comes up like this, because they can't get on your roof this way, right? Don't put a build there, don't put a build here, right? So they can't get on right here. You just want to have your edge go up like this, so nothing can get on your roof. Okay. Right. So we've built this level. Okay, and then so yeah, ramp at this corner right here. You're going to want to ramp up like this, 1, 2, and stop. And then here we've got, I just put walls here to make it look nicer, I guess. And also block line of sight, because you don't want like flingers and stuff to be down here, pitching at your amps. Right, so, okay, so we did this one, we did that. And this one is 1, 2, 3 high, and then it's kind of hard to follow. Just make it look like what I have here. All right, so you've got, you know, you're ramping up to basically another level right here. So ramp up. I don't know how many across this is, but it's up to this edge, right? So we ramp up, and then we've got. You know, just use this as a landmark. You see this on your map, match where I am to where you are. Now do, this is 1, 2, and then we're gonna go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so this is like 7 by 2 wide right here. Okay, we're gonna go all the way out, and then we're gonna ramp up 1, 2. And then we're going to come out by 2. Okay, and that's the end of this little border here. And this may seem like overkill. You may be like, whoa, this is some giant lobber shield. But every so often you'll get a wave with lobbers that just go berserk, and they throw like a million bombs at your amp and just hammer your roof. And the only way that you could really stop them from doing that is to just basically cover everything all the way up to their spawn. And once you do that, then the lobbers will just go into your trap tunnels and stuff. So that's why I have this giant lobber shield out here. Okay. So yeah, so I've covered that part, and then, you know, just wrap it around like I have here. I just did this mostly to make it look nice, I guess, but I don't know, whatever. So just wrap it around, right? This is just like a corner edit cone, and then have a 3 here, and then I've got a cone edited like this, and then this comes out. It's 3 wide all the way up until this edge right here where you've ramped up. Okay, so I don't know. I don't want to count it all. Just make it look like mine. Make it look like this. All right. It'll make more sense once we get on the underside of here. Okay, so now that we're underneath, I don't have any traps on here. There's just not enough spawning up here to warrant traps. Like, there will be spawns here going over to E, to attack E from the east, but they go into these trap tunnels and nothing ever survives this, so there's no need for traps up here. Okay, so let's just go up to like this level of the roof and do the traps here. So at this upper level right here, right, this is right above this little ridge right here. These are very hard-hitting ceiling electrics. They are this perked. Crit rating, crit damage, damage, crit damage, durability. And they hit hard up here because there's not actually much that spawns up here at this level, so you can have less durability up here, it's fine, and just hit them hard. And these right here are hard-hitting tire drop traps. So it's this crit rating, crit damage, damage, reload speed, dura. So these are 3 across right here. Alright, so now let's go down 1 level of the roof to these. Okay, so at this level of the roof, these are all very high durability traps, because this is the level that most of the spawns are at. So you're gonna want a lot of durability on these traps. So for these ceiling electrics here, they're perked like this. Where is it? This one right here, 5x durability, right? So if you look at the difference in durability, these have 181 versus these have 121. So all along this level of the roof and all the way across, these are all high dura perked traps. And so I've got like, you know, 9 right here, little 3x3 right here. It's just right above this elevated area right here. And then I've got more ceiling electrics, just basically like all ceiling electrics except for these, I think 4 across right here that are above these steps. And I put tire drops above any sort of terrain that is sloped or has steps, because the tires will like bounce all over the place. So I like to put tire drops above that type of terrain. So there's 4 tire drops here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And they have this perk on them. I think these are, where are they? They're perked like, I think this. Dura, reload, Dura, reload, Dura. So double reload and then the rest Dura. So yeah, and then you want to make sure that you are facing the same way as the husks when you place them, and that way when you bounce the husks, they'll stagger backwards like this. So that's what these are. All these ceiling electrics at this level are the high Dura, 5x Dura. Like, just look at the Dura, 181, 181. There's one right here that pops out. So all of these ceiling electrics are 5x Dura. And then I've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 more tire drops, same perks as those, above these steps, right? Just like I said before, they'll bounce around and stagger a bunch of stuff down here. Okay, and then when we get to this lowest level of the ceiling, along this level, These are my hardest hitting traps. So, like I said, I want to make sure that anything that gets at this level close to the walls, I want to kill like just with one shot, right? Either from the wall darts or my ceiling traps. So for these, they're perked like this: crit rating, crit damage, damage, crit damage, and then Dura. So just double crit damage. So that is what I have here. There's 6 of them right here, and then all along this lowest level of the roof, these are all just super hard hitting ceiling electrics, right? Just look at the Dura, 121 versus 181. All right. Yeah, I think that just about covers it for the Homebase North defense. All right, the next video I think will be Amp A North, and then we can complete that side of the defense. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, if you guys like this content and want to support the channel, please use code Diggy in the item shop. I'd really appreciate it. And thank you to everyone who has used it. If you have any questions about this build, the best place to ask me is on Discord. I mean, you can also post a comment on YouTube and I'll see those and reply to those, but it's easier if it's on Discord. Okay, and I'll leave a link to my Discord in the description and pin it in the top comment. All right, I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.